Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm happy to be here today.
Okay. How's everything? How you been?
Everything is great.
You're feeling good today?
I am. I'm excited about the new year. Excited about what real estate has in store this year. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Oh, that's amazing. So let us know a little bit about yourself, because for people who haven't met you, I know a little bit about you, but give us a little bit of short story, where you've been, where you're from, how's everything, how you get to where you've been, and all of that.
Sure. So I've been here in the DMV my whole life. I'm from Montgomery County. I've been a real estate agent for 7 years. So it's been 7 amazing years of doing real estate. So this will be my 8th year coming up. I'm licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So yes, I love what I do. I love assisting my clients. I'm very happy about it, and I'm very excited about it as well.
Well, that's amazing. You've almost done 10 years. That's a decade of
Yes.
doing it. So, have you been loving it every second of it?
It has its ups and downs. You have tough transactions, but as long as you reach the end goal, that's the most important. So I've been loving it for the most part. You always have your arguments, but
Okay, you said the end goal. What's the end goal usually?
the end goal is usually either assisting my clients with selling their property so they can have a fresh start in their life, or assisting them with purchasing a property. And a lot of the time it's a first home, so it's really exciting.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that is. I've seen a lot of the stuff you've been doing on the internet, and it is amazing.
Thank you.
I do have another question, because what is the difference usually that it is for you with businesses in comparison to dealing with families?
So like assisting investors versus assisting families.
100%.
So it can be different because an investor they're usually more seasoned, and they have different goals in mind. So when you're investing, your main goal with properties is making money off of the property. So whether that's like a buy and hold or a flip, they're looking for different things than like a first time buyer or a second time buyer might be looking for in a home.
Okay, so what are first time buyers and second time buyers usually looking for?
Location is very important. It depends on their goals and their lifestyle. Sometimes they're looking for a good school district. Sometimes they're looking for more space, looking to upgrade, downsize. Yeah, something comfortable for them. First time buyers, It can be a bit of a give and take for them. And a little bit of it can be sacrifice getting into your first home too.
Definitely. So it's a little bit of a hurdle. So you usually give them a lot of help with that.
Yes.
I know that's like the biggest thing, because when I read that Washingtonian, that's what they highlight about you. You help them through. You give them a lot of the details. And what are the biggest things, I guess, that you could say first time homeowners don't know that they should know when they come to?
First time home buyers should know I'll always assist them with guidance. I'll always pretty much be real with them too, and just assist them with what makes sense for them. So for first time buyers, I assist them with thinking about their wants versus their needs.
Okay.
And that's a lot of the home search. We definitely want you to have all of your needs, most of your wants. So going through that list, making sure they stay within their budget. Even though you may be able to afford a certain amount of a home, that doesn't mean you would want to have that mortgage every month. So something that's comfortable for them. I always want my clients to be comfortable in their home after they settle too, not just happy for the moment when they're buying. I want them to be happy with it for years to come.
And I want to ask you two kind of questions. Have you come into any clients or any families particularly that have found you and then wanted to just keep coming back and coming back?
I do. So a lot of my business is repeat clients and referrals.
Okay.
So that is like the base of my business. I'm happy about that and grateful.
Oh, that's definitely amazing. So you guys, if you're seeing it, I hope you guys are hitting the like button, because she's going to bring you back every time. She obviously got the nicest homes you can find in the DMV, and she's doing amazing work. So let's support her in every way possible. Look, can you tell me some...
Much.
No problem. What are some fun facts that that come with real estate?
Fun facts that come with real estate. I would say the first one would be buying that first property can change your life. Buying my home has changed my life. It's changed my clients' lives, made my clients wealthier. Another fact about real estate would be the best time to buy a home is when you're ready to purchase a home. We hear a lot about when the perfect time is to purchase a home, but it's really when you're ready.
Could you let us know what was it that actually sparked you or gave you the desire to become a real estate agent?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, about 8 years ago, I was working at a property management company. I was an office manager and an accountant. So, we already did some real estate there, but I knew I definitely wanted to go into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And this was just the route I decided to take, stuck with it. I enjoyed helping people along the way. So, that was really the main reason I wanted to get into real estate, was to assist families with this huge goal.
So you just wanted to be a little bit of a boss yourself and make sure that you're giving back to the community at the same time?
Yes.
That's a perfect way to be, I think. I think that you're doing well with that.
Thank
and
you.
I'm glad that you're doing that for both the community and for yourself as well.
Thank you so much.
What are 5 golden rules that you think everybody should know about real estate?
The first would be, it may take a little sacrifice to get into real estate. So sometimes when you're buying that first home, you may have to sacrifice, you may have to cut back on some things. Depending on what the lifestyle is, whether that's like Uber Eats or DoorDash or shopping, sometimes it might take a little sacrifice to get into purchasing your first home. The second one I would say is, the second golden rule I would say is to remember when you're purchasing your first home, it won't be your last home. So you don't always have to try to purchase your dream home for your first home, because it won't be your last. You definitely want to find something that meets your needs, but just keeping that in mind can help you make a great financial decision as well.
Of course, yeah.
Another golden rule, I always say to keep things in mind that you can't change about the property. So certain things that you can't change would be your location, the space and layout in the home for the most part. And what's the last one? Pretty much just location and layout. Let me see. I had one more.
We're going to hope you can squeeze out 2 more because you're on 3. That's
I know.
5. I'm making sure you do this right. I'm making sure you do this right.
Thank you.
No problem.
So let me repeat that one.
Of course.
So another rule I would say is keeping in mind the things that you can't change about the home, which would be your location and the space. So making sure that you like the location, it's somewhere you feel safe, somewhere where you have the surroundings or the type of lifestyle that you like to have, whether it's shopping or dining, the commute to work. Those are all things that you can't change about the house, as well as the space in the house, meaning your bedrooms, your bathrooms, how much space you actually need within the house, if you need a home office, things like that. And then also keeping in mind that no home is perfect, but you can make a home more of your own and you can make it comfortable for you. So you'll always have some projects on your home, whether it's a brand new home or it's an older home. You'll always have projects that you can do on a home to make it more of your own. So the options and possibilities are almost endless for how you can make a property your own.
Okay, that's definitely dope. And do you have just one more for us?
Sure. I would say for the last fact, it's very important to keep your budget in mind. You'll be the one paying your mortgage every month. Property taxes can always increase as years go on, so that's important to remember. So you just want to make sure you have a budget in mind and stick to your budget so you can be comfortable in your home and not feel, we don't want you feeling like you're house poor after you buy your house.
Of course. Yeah, you don't want to be...
I have one more.
Go ahead. Oh, now she's on the road. There we go. There we go.
So last, I would say, this is important in these day and times. Making sure that you're purchasing a home for yourself and what you like, and not what your family and friends, not purchasing a home for your family and friends and trying to impress them, making sure a home meets your needs. And that's very important. So sometimes when you're going through this process, going through it without too many outside opinions other than your guidance and maybe a few people that you trust may be best. You might not want too much outside noise from people and too many opinions that can definitely have an effect on your process. So just making sure you're purchasing a home for the right reasons and for yourself. You will be the one living in it. So keeping that in mind.
No, definitely. You definitely don't want to be swayed by public opinion. You don't want to be peer pressured into a home that you can't afford, or isn't the space for you, or something that, it might be one little issue, but somebody's just telling you to go ahead and get it. Don't do that to yourself. Get exactly what you want, because in today's world, what is life about other than getting to what we desire?
So true.
So let me ask you a little bit more about yourself, though.
Okay.
Was there any moments of doubt or hesitation for you in journeying down becoming a real estate agent? And how did you overcome that fear as well?
So I would say with being a realtor for 7 years, things are constantly changing. So I'm always trying to change with it so I can keep up with.
When you had a moment of doubt journeying down being a real estate agent, and how did you overcome the fear of the doubt or hesitation that you had?
Sure. So I would say when I first started off, I think it can always look great. Some people do get sales right away. I did not get any sales right away, so I started off doing rentals. It took me a few months before I had my first sale. So I would say I didn't have enough doubt to stop me, but I had a little bit of doubt at that point, but I kind of just had to stick with it and see where it went.
And you knew,
see it through.
Oh no, definitely, 100%. I don't mean to cut you off at all,
sure.
But I feel like you're saying something that's also key too, is that you needed to be consistent, because
yes.
if you had quit, then you wouldn't have been as successful as you become today, right?
It's so true. Great things take time.
Yeah, and it takes time, and you have to learn from your mistakes.
It's so true.
Of course. So, in your opinion, what is it that makes a top-class realtor?
I would say being personable.
Okay.
Being a realtor that people can trust, being trustworthy, being knowledgeable. Those are most important, and being personable with your clients.
So being able to connect, knowing your craft,
mm-hmm.
and what was the last part you said? I'm sorry.
Being knowledgeable, being trustworthy, and being personable with your clients.
What has been the biggest influence, and/or if you've had a mentor that has guided you on the path to your real estate success?
I think mentorship is always important to have. I definitely had great mentorship when I was starting off in real estate a lot more. My broker, when I was with Remax, he was a great source for mentorship for me, and really helped me with starting my career and steps I needed to take to become successful. So I'm thankful and grateful.
Do you have any wisdom that you had from him that you would like to impart on the people?
I would say, just like you said, really being consistent, and also, instead of paying attention to what other realtors are doing, trying different tactics and seeing what works for you and what works for your business is most important.
Okay, so what were some tactics that you had that worked well for you starting off?
Oh, I was doing everything.
Okay, what is everything? So tell us some tactics, because I don't know any tactics.
So starting off, I was doing like door knocking. I was doing cold calling.
Okay.
And that's why I said, like, this year, getting back to the basics is really important. And I see a lot of other people saying the same thing too, because those same things that work when you're starting off is what will continue to keep your business growing.
Of course.
So just continuing to provide great service, so you are getting those referrals and those repeat clients, but also taking time each day to connect with new people. So whether you're cold calling, door knocking, social media, postcards, I've done a lot of that. So
you did postcards. That's interesting. What's postcards like?
I still do postcards now.
You send them to like the addresses of...
Yes, and they work.
So wait a minute. So how do they have like receiving information to call back, or?
Correct.
Okay.
So all of my information is on there. Usually when I'm sending postcards, it's like to a home that to the neighborhood of the home that I just sold.
Okay.
So when the neighbors are looking to sell, they'll usually call and ask for some assistance.
Yes, no, definitely.
And they see, like, they're like, hey, she already sold my neighbor's house. A lot of the time it's the same layout and everything. She can sell our house too.
Oh, that's lovely,
so postcards work. That's why I said getting back to the basics. Social media is great. Mm-hmm. It is definitely a great tool, but there are other ways to reach people as well. And not everyone is on social media. Not all home buyers or sellers are on social media. So just finding the best way to reach people for your business. Definitely.
But what you did say too is also key. Content is key, guys. You have to have some content out there, even if you're not particularly going to do that. If you're doing art, anything else, make sure you get your content out there.
That's
because
so true.
It's just another way of marketing and advertising what it is that you do well. And I think that you are doing some amazing stuff. So we hope that we can help you to strive to do anything better. If we can help you to get some more content out there and reach a bigger and broader space, because I know you are working in the entirety of the DMV area. So you guys, it's hard for one person to be in 3 states at one time. So any assistance you can do, and you guys can help. We'll be linking her Instagram down below. So get down there, ask her some questions, let her know what you can, ask her what you can do to help her out. And if you guys have any leads, please hit her up. If you have a home you're willing to buy, hit her up and let her know. If you want to sell as well, talk to the girl here.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
No, not a problem. Not a problem at all. What are 3 ways a new buyer can value their property? Like, or put a value to their property? Like 3 particular things that they can put a value onto the property.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, what would they highlight when they're trying to buy? I mean, when they're trying to sell their home and put value towards it.
Sure. So that's an interesting question because it varies based on the property.
Of course.
So whatever it is that makes that property unique and special. Okay. So whether it's the location, some properties may have a large yard, it may be the square footage, it might be the updates that are done within the property. So it can be whatever is unique, whatever features are unique to that property.
Well, that was amazing. You gave us more than 3. I'm just trying to give people a little information because, like you said, you work with a lot of first-term buyers and
yes.
first-term sellers. So they might not know how to word certain things. So I'm just trying to give them little bit of perspective in the mind of somebody who's a professional. Don't think that this is an outlet of not going and reaching out and getting the questions that I can't answer for you. How can a realtor, and I know you kind of touched on it, how can a realtor make themselves stand out?
I would say a realtor can make themselves stand out. I think the first thing that's important about making yourself stand out is assessing what does stand out about you, what would make people come to you as a realtor, what qualities you have that would assist them throughout their journey, making sure you're being seen, making sure you're in front of people, just providing the service that people would expect, exceptional service, being great with communicating, and being knowledgeable, whether it's with contracts, whether it's with knowing the area, whatever your niche is. Focusing on that and being knowledgeable within your niche and your clientele.
Okay, that's definitely informative. I'm glad that you could expand upon that so well for the people that are watching. Now, I got one that might trip you up a little bit, so take your time with it.
Okay.
But what is the hardest part of being a real estate agent? Single most hardest part. See, I told you, take a second.
So many coming.
Well, you can fire off a couple. I was just saying the hardest one, but if you got a few that like stand at the same level, go ahead.
I would say the hardest part of being a realtor would be making sure that you're doing what you need to do each day, meaning doing more than just working with the clients you currently have, but doing the work to continue growing your business each day, doing your follow-ups each day. With this type of business, there's no one telling you what you need to do each day. So just staying focused on the work you need to do each day, I would say is the most important, and it can be one of the hardest things.
Okay.
Everything else, it's like we do a lot of problem solving. Every transaction is different, and it can bring on different issues to be solved, but I wouldn't say that's the hardest thing. I think just really doing the work each day that you need to do and keeping yourself focused, because no one is going to be doing that for you.
And I think you just touched on the question I was going to ask you next, because you like you're saying, like every sale is different. Yes. But can you tell us a moment that you felt lost when you were going through the whole being a real estate agent, and how you found yourself, and what were the new things that you did to change so that way you didn't stay in that same lost mentality?
Let me think about that one first.
Okay. I'm not rushing. You might want to take a swig of water too.
Okay.
So you can give yourself a little.
Some of these questions are tough. I'm like,
come on, it's a real interview. You thought it was going to be, what was it? Surface level? Thought I was going to ask you about high school stuff?
No.
And we could talk about it real fast. We still recording? No, don't stop. Did you see my interview about about Khadijah?
I did see it.
Did you understand what that young lady did to her own child?
I did. I did not. I can't say that I did watch it, but I did see
what happened on the news.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure, but I thought that young lady needed some help probably when we were younger, but I mean, we were kids, and what could we really say as children that could get that young lady some help? At the same time, it is beyond me that we're literally on a school bus with somebody who would do something so egregious.
That's true.
It's a very wild world that we live in, and a little bit outside the box.
Yes, it's definitely sad.
Can you tell me a moment that you felt like you were lost in your real estate journey, and how did you overcome and change from that?
Sure. I haven't felt that way in a long time, but I would probably say I felt a little more lost in the beginning, starting off. So after passing my exam, signing with a brokerage, it was kind of like, what's next? But I didn't know which route to take to start actually getting business and closing deals. So I would say that was kind of a moment where I was lost, and I had to figure that out. So I did so just upon receiving the right guidance.
And what did you do to change? Like, what steps did you do to make yourself a little different?
I did more research on marketing. I feel like marketing 7 years ago is different than now. But I did more research on marketing and types of marketing, as well as just seeking that guidance from my broker, someone who had been licensed and selling real estate for a long amount of time.
You done? You was finished? Okay. So let us know this. What type of real estate agents makes the most money? You've been in the game for a while. You should know some of the money makers and the ones that talk the most BS.
I would have to say luxury agents probably make the most money.
Luxury agents? And what are luxury agents for people who don't know?
Agents that are selling in luxury price points. And I would also say agents that are taking on a good amount of clients every year as well, even if it's not luxury price points.
Okay.
But it's not all about the money for us.
Oh, it's not all about the money? What is it about?
No, you want to have a good balance between a good lifestyle for yourself, a good work-life balance. That's important to me. So it's not just about making the most money every year, at least not for me.
And see that? So just so you people know, she's not a shady dealer, because I know a lot of people think, no, really, people do think that realtors are shady dealers. They're not as bad as lawyers, guys. So just know that this lovely lady here, she has a heart and she wants to get you what's best for your interest and not just get the cheddar chink. But don't forget that it is a business and she's going to get paid from it as well. Mm-hmm. But she's going to do the best for you without worrying about the dollar amount.
I want to assist clients to the best of my ability. And sometimes if I'm taking on too many, I may not be able to do that. So I don't want to spread myself too thin where I'm not providing the best experience to each client. So as long as I can continue to provide an exceptional experience, I'm happy with that.
And excuse me. What you just said was absolutely amazing, especially when you're working in service. Mm-hmm. You have to understand your limits and not try to overstep them just so that you can feel great for maybe a pat on the back or somebody to say thank you. You have to know what you can handle, especially when you're working with people, and then allow them to know that you need to okay, well, I would love to work with you, but it might be some time before I'm able to, or you might need to refer them to somebody else so they can get what they need in a timely fashion.
Yes, and delegating things when needed is very important. So I've had like a year where I've been kind of burnt out with business, and it was a great year business-wise, but like physically and mentally, it kind of burnt me out. So I have learned lessons from that.
I definitely understand. So that burnout, man, it's something crazy, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
And
you don't understand what it is while you're going through it. You don't understand it until afterwards, because you think I could just get rest for a night and things like that. But recovering from burnout is actually more than just rest.
No, it definitely is. And then I was going to say, on top of that, it's you go through it and you're feeling like you can still do everything regular, and then you're kind of going through it in a zombie state, though. But it's just I got to do it. But you do got to give yourself that rest, like you were speaking on earlier, rest day or any type of rest. I'm not saying take a whole day and just sleep in the middle of the bed, don't do anything. But just give yourself some both mental clarity rest and, of course, physical rest. But I was going to say, could you share with us a moment that you had to take a deep dive within yourself? And what did you learn from that through the process of becoming a real estate agent?
I would say I've done that quite a few times throughout this career. I've taken a deep dive personally with...
You got to say your own personal life?
No. Continuing to do things that are outside of my comfort zone.
Okay.
So I take a deep dive by just assessing things I've been doing, things that are working, and things that I should incorporate. So some things I might not be doing yet. It might have been outside of my comfort zone, but taking that step anyway.
Okay, I definitely understand that. I think this is a little redundant, so I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to jump around. Okay. What is the area with the best market right now for new buyers?
I would say most of our DMV market is a better market than most, I feel like. people are always moving here for work. So people are always buying or selling. We don't have a super slow winter season like they have in a lot of places.
Okay.
So I feel like the values they always raise here. So we've been seeing a lot of increases in our property values, and people are always buying and selling here. People are always moving here for work, moving here for military, upgrading, downsizing. So we never see a slowdown in that. So I think our areas close to DC here in the DMV are great for that.
Okay, so wait a minute. Now you said something. DC is the one? We just want to know, out of the DMV, which one has got the best market? Somebody got to be the best. D, M, or V?
I can't really say because there's great markets in all three.
Okay. She's going to be unbiased, guys. You have to find out somewhere else.
There's great markets in all three. You can always find a good deal and a good opportunity in all three of the markets.
Okay, so then I got another one that might trip you up then. Why is DC property so expensive?
Location is everything. Convenience is everything.
Okay, so you're saying what? The metro? What else?
You have metro, you have stores, you have restaurants. Everyone works here pretty much.
So the government and what else would you say? That's it?
Yeah.
So this is what is affecting you guys in the city. If you don't understand why your prices are going up or rent is continuously going up without the cause of inflation, that's what it is. Convenience, guys. If you wanted things to not be convenient, move out of the city, obviously.
Convenience is everything. Location is everything within real estate, as well as people being close to work. So DC has always been great for that.
Okay, now this one might be a little bit tricky because I was just learning about this myself. But what does Mars Code of Ethics outline? Go ahead.
I feel like I'm taking the exam for real. NAR's Code of Ethics outlines treating clients with fairness and equality.
Okay.
Being truthful with your clients.
That is absolutely amazing. So I hope that you guys know that this lady embodies that absolutely and purely. We're going to show you that in the clips that you're going to be seeing in a second. Okay. How many do you know of realtors that are really about what they say they are about?
I know a lot of them.
Okay. And the question, I'll spin it in a different way because I had some people in the question area asking about, because they've been jaded by other realtors. So how is it best to discern a good realtor from a bad realtor?
I would say one of the great things you could do is read reviews. Those are honest reviews from clients that the realtor has worked with. Getting to know their personality, doing a buyer's consultation or a listing consultation to see what that realtor can offer you and see if their style meshes with you, whether that's communication style, personality, things like that, their knowledge on the area you're looking in. Let's see what else. Referrals from friends and family members. If they had a great experience, it's great to check with them and get a referral from them as well.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you one more question, and we're going to take a little intermission I was telling you about.
Okay.
Actually, let me see. So, yeah, this one should be good for it. How long does it usually take, how long did it take you to get your license in each state?
I would say for my first state, I was licensed in Virginia first.
Okay.
So that license, it might have taken about 3 months. I was doing it on my own time. I was doing it online while I was still working full time. Okay. So that probably took a few months. DC and Maryland, I would say maybe 1 month.
Okay, you already knew what was going on after that.
Yes.
Okay. So, guys, if you're definitely looking for it, it doesn't take too long, but you got to be dedicated. Mm-hmm. So don't let her, because it was easy to her. She got a big brain, so it probably just came easily to her. So make sure that you study, and if you are going to try to go out and be a realtor, to put your best foot forward. Let's pause it. We'll get it on camera too.
Okay. So you should be adding to each other's happiness. Each person should already be happy and content on their own, but a goal for a relationship should be to enhance happiness for each other. So that is one of the first things I think about, because I'm not going to be miserable in a relationship or unhappy in a relationship when I'm already happy or content by myself. So I wouldn't settle, you're saying, taking this or taking that when you're not getting both from either parties. So it's either something that works for me or something that works for that person, or it's something that doesn't work, and you can always choose to just choose yourself. And being single, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to have someone. That's not a necessity.
And this is what I'm hitting on, because this is where it becomes very, very key to what I'm saying. Relationships, like we were saying, the key to it isn't the happiness. You should be enhancing your happiness when you are coming together with the proper person.
So then the key is enhancing happiness.
But the key isn't that either. It is actually the goal that you two set together, which again is the negotiation that you should be having at the beginning. What it is that y'all are coming together for in their relationship. What is the relationship supposed to build? Are you going to become a family? Are you going to foster children? Are you going to buy a home? Are you going to be together 60 plus years? Those are the things that you need to talk about. Then from there, you need to know the smaller, minute things. And that's why I'm saying the happiness, it shouldn't be the key thing that you're talking about. If they already aren't bringing you happiness, then they shouldn't be somebody you're considering a long-term relationship with. And that's why I say when we talk about, and I'm talking about it more so on a Western mindset, not to attack you specifically, but only because you said it that way. But happiness shouldn't be the way that we come about it, because yes, you're going to be happy alone. Why aren't you happy? I don't want to get with you if you're not happy in the first place.
Not happy, but
Wait a minute though. Let me finish. Pause. And why is it that you're so happy alone that you're okay with the fact that, okay, what I'm telling you is my needs and my boundaries, you're okay being alone with, but when you say your needs and boundaries, and usually it's the ladies that say this to men, when they state their boundaries, it is okay, you got to accept this. But a man stating his boundaries, they get a lot of pushback, and they are told that, okay, but you're supposed to deal with me for me, and you need to be a man and not do all of that kind of ish.
Well, I have not witnessed that, so I can't speak on that. I feel like it's something that goes both ways. Everyone should have their wants, their needs, their non-negotiables, their standards, men and women. So men are not forced to deal with things in women that they don't want to deal with, and women are not either. A man shouldn't be settling, and a woman shouldn't feel like they're settling either.
So I'll just touch on one point that happened in another podcast that we had. There was a young lady, right? She was very adamant and very happy to play in men's behinds, okay? She likes to do that. She wants to eat it. She wants to do all the stuff that she imagines is comfortable. And we as men sat there in several different ways, told her that's not something that men are comfortable with. But she was like, well, I know some men that are comfortable with it. And that's not the standpoint that we're trying to make. What the standpoint is majority of men aren't comfortable with it. You'll get a man after you convinced him after a long period of time. If that's what he wasn't about, you might get him to be convinced to do that. Then after that, you know what I'm saying, that man might be judged. But in the beginning standpoint, he wasn't comfortable. So what I'm saying is a man's non-negotiables is tested consistently to the point where he has to bend that. And then in that relationship, he might be shunned after the fact. You know what I'm saying? And then have to take on new boundaries because of the fact.
Okay, that example is really something. But you all could speak for yourself and say you all don't like it, but how can you say majority of men don't like that? Has there been a study on that?
There has been.
There has, and
majority. I have facts.
Okay.
I can bring up statistics too if that's what you would like.
No, I'm just wondering how you all came about that.
I mean, it's a majority of men don't like it. I mean, of course, there's closed cases where there are people who are doing things that, of course, I'm not privy to. Right. But you're not going to hear 100 men go out and then 80% of those men saying, oh, yes, let's get our butts waxed.
Well, it's just about if that's a deal breaker for her, then let's get off of this subject, but let's talk about that in general. Really, it's about finding someone who aligns with you. So if you find someone that aligns, we're not always talking about making someone do this or making someone do that or making this person settle for that. Find someone who aligns with a lot of the things that you want and a lot of the things you want to do, and that solves a lot of this.
And I mean, that's ultimately what I'm saying, but at the same time, we as a society have to stop testing each other's boundaries so hard because what societal norms are saying is something different. You know what I mean? That's really what I'm trying to boil it down to. And usually we see a lot of that happen because mainstream media is telling you can do X, Y, and Z. You got any more topics on relationships you want to divulge with us? Or any questions you got for me about relationships that you would like to share with people?
Questions for you about relationships. Sure. What are the most important things that you look for in a relationship? And what are the most important things that you feel like men look for in a relationship?
Well, I think that these will correlate on the same level.
Okay.
So it'll be one answer. What I look for is somebody who genuinely understands and appreciate what I also am as a person, who what I bring to the table, my communication style and all that kind of stuff. On top of that, I like a very, very feminine woman, somebody who doesn't do a lot of talking back, who doesn't do a lot of stuff that would cause me utmost stress or would make me feel as though I need to question her nature at all. Okay? And on top of that, I like a woman who likes to keep herself up in a stature that makes her the most beautiful. And the reason I say that, though, because beauty standards differ for everybody.
Yes.
But when I say that, though, I don't want somebody who I have to just, not on top of the fact, tell them that they're pretty because they don't believe it. But when I say it, it doesn't carry as much weight. Because when I'm doing all of that, I'm saying, because when I'm actually genuinely cherishing you and pouring into you, you're taking it as an upward battle. Like I'm trying to push you up the hill to make you believe that that's what I mean. So those are particularly the three main things that us as gentlemen look for. It's not all the expletive deleted stuff, like not all the extra actions and all the other kind of stuff. Of course, everything else is an additive. It adds on to the things that will make me cherish a woman. But it's those qualities there that will make me feel like a woman is irreplaceable.
Okay, that's a great answer.
Okay. But yeah, let's get back into your life and everything you got going on. Hold on, I got lost something. Okay, how did you get your license and what year was it?
I got my real estate license starting with Virginia in 2016. So while I was working my full-time job, I was taking my courses online at that time. So it starts with an online course and exam, and then you have to go in person for a state exam and national exam.
Okay.
So that whole process, I would say, was probably about 3 months.
Okay. And which did you do first, the national or state exams?
I believe I did them the same day.
Oh, the same day? You just said, let me just get them all out of the way.
Yes.
And what was the wait time afterwards?
You find out right away.
Oh, like immediately afterwards?
Yes, you find out right away if you passed or failed.
Okay, that's good though. So you ain't got no wait time, but you weren't anxious or anything. You knew you had it in the bag.
I did a lot of studying.
Okay.
So
of course, I mean, got to be well researched to do as well as you've been doing in this world now.
I remember that time, like I wasn't going out at all. I was just studying. So after work, I was studying. Sometimes at work, I was studying a little bit too.
Okay. I was about to say that. Now that's something that you should also we want to touch on, because I think that I actually had an entire episode, but focus is very important, and you do need to cut out a lot of stuff so that way you can obtain your actual goals.
Yes.
But can you speak on like how it was that you started to set things aside to make yourself get into that standpoint? What made you feel like, okay, I need to let this stuff go so that way I can be the best me?
I actually have periods of sacrifice all the time. So anytime you're trying to get to the next level, and we all have new goals every year. So whether it's fitness and health, and you might be sacrificing some things for that, to be going to the gym, eating healthier, that may be a sacrifice. Spending more time in the gym instead of going out, that can be a sacrifice. Putting more money aside sometimes can be a sacrifice. So I feel like anytime we're trying to reach the next level of our goals, we will have some time of sacrifice. So that's something I always do. And I always just think about the bigger picture instead of just thinking about right now. And it always pays off.
And I would say that people who know how to sacrifice, right, or limit their self, and I won't say sacrifice because I know a lot of y'all are like, I don't want to sacrifice anything. You have to be able to naturally limit yourself to actually be very great. The people that limit themselves, because just like you say, you see billionaires, they don't wear name brand, none of that stuff, because they limit their spending habits on things that actually matter to them. Right.
And I do like the word sacrifice because I feel like it shows determination.
Okay, but a lot of people, the word sacrifice is a little scary. And it's a little...
It is,
it's
because
strong.
it's intense.
Yeah, it's intense. And some people can't take that intensity, you know?
Right.
It's just like a lot of other things in this world, they like it to be convenient.
That's so true.
So that lacks intensity, because real intensity you have to reach for. You have to go outside of your comfortability to strive to get.
It's so true. I think that's something that definitely separates people.
And that's why I feel like a lot of people don't understand what it takes to become a truly successful person, because they think that they can watch you succeed and then think that is the formula to be exactly where you were, and they don't see all the hidden stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
So true. So I would say I had a lot of sacrifice to get here today with my real estate career, but even as far as me purchasing a home, when I purchased my home, I sacrificed a lot of things in my lifestyle or things on a day-to-day basis to purchase my home, and definitely no regrets.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how did you feel like you as a person now? How did your view on the world change when you became a realtor? Like, what perspective on the world changed for you? So here, I'll even spark it up a little bit. So from your time so you said you went directly in from being property manager, correct?
Yes, working at a property management company. Yes.
And then becoming a realtor.
Yes.
So even from your time before being a property manager, how is it now that you even see homes and houses, the decor, even the landscape, the layout, who built it, time frame, all those kind of things?
I would say perspective wise, something that changed for me was realizing that this is something anyone can do. Okay. Any of us could be successful with real estate with the determination. Any of us could have investment properties with determination. Any of us can purchase our first home. A lot of us didn't see people purchasing homes, especially investment properties, having rental properties for multiple sources of income. So a lot of us didn't always grow up seeing that, but I see that with hard work, determination, and accepting guidance, any of us can be in that position.
And you just said something I didn't even think to ask right now. But let me ask you this. So with people who are buying maybe their second home or maybe even the third, but they want to leverage it to like an Airbnb, what is some advice that you would give to them?
Advice I would give for starting with real estate investment would be, of course, purchasing that first home with an investment mindset, living in that home, whether it's a year, 2 years, or 3 years, and then renting that property out and purchasing another one.
Okay. So, and then as far as Airbnbs are concerned, what would you give for those people? Because that's the new hotness. Everybody wants to get a property, put it on Airbnb, rent it out for a couple of years, and reap the benefits.
Definitely look into the restrictions with Airbnb. We have a lot more restrictions, especially in condominium units.
After gaining your initial success, did you return to a sense of normalcy? And did you feel like you were slipping back into old ways? I know it's a trick question. And it's more so like, after gaining your success, did you feel like you started to do things that were in the sense of the things that you were doing that was unsuccessful beforehand? You get what I mean?
Yes. I gotta think on that one. Repeat that one for me.
Okay, so after gaining your success, did you ever feel yourself slipping backwards into a sense of non-successful like routines?
No.
No, not at all?
And I don't feel like I ever had unsuccessful habits.
Okay, so how did you eliminate unsuccessful habits from your life then, if you never had any?
I mean, I would say I assess my life daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. So,
and how do you do these assessments? So for people who don't know, because it's a very mature mindset to have, and not everybody got it.
Sure. So every day I have to-do lists. Some are personal things, some are things at home, some are self-care, some are real estate, and some are work. And I assess on how much I've accomplished each day, each week, each month, and if the habits I have each day and the tasks I'm doing each day are bringing me closer or further from my goals.
Okay. And then how would you say you evaluate if you're doing well or not doing well on those things?
How many of my goals have been accomplished and how much closer, and the steps I'm taking to those goals, whether they're short-term or long-term.
Oh, so very goal-oriented is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. So as long as the checklist is about 80%, you succeeded for the day, or what does it have to be?
Probably more so around 90%.
90%.
Yes. I would also say a key for me is not overwhelming myself with tasks and starting with most important, going down the list.
So how long usually is a daily list you look like?
It's usually about 10 things on the list.
Just 10?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's reasonable. Get 10 things
Yes.
done. And then, okay, so excuse me, you have to do 9 out of the 10 every day.
At least, yes.
Okay.
And I would also say something that's been helpful for me is actually putting a time frame on each task. So I'm not having too much idle time. Like I'll have breaks in between, or I'll have like a lunch break and things like that. But I'll have a time frame on each item.
Well, all work and no play. Katrina, man, what do you do for fun? Like, what do you got downtime? What do you do with your idle time? If you maximizing your efficiency, what do you do for fun?
I've been working out a lot. That's been fun, and it's helping me clear my mind. And of course, getting into better shape, that's a plus too. But it's definitely something that helps to clear my mind. Spending time with friends, I always enjoy that. Going out, trying new restaurants. I love going to concerts, so I did a lot of concerts last year.
Name a few.
I saw Travis Scott.
Okay, that's dope.
Drake, Beyonce.
Not Drake. Nobody like him.
We all like Drake.
No, we don't. Drake is whack.
The charts say otherwise.
I mean, the charts can say anything. Don't mean we gotta like him.
Well, we do. We love Drake.
You a Beehive? You in the Beehive? I heard that one too.
I guess. Yeah, I'm a Beyonce fan.
You guess you in the Beehive? The
I
Beehive
don't
is
go around
going.
saying I'm in the Beehive, but I am a Beyonce fan, and she's a hardworking woman, so you have to respect that.
Beehive fans, I better catch your friend.
I'm a Beyonce fan, and I'm just go around being like, "Oh, I'm in the Beehive."
I mean, I all the Beehivers I know they do. They claim they spot. They buzz around. You feel what I'm saying?
But I enjoyed her performance. I saw Beyonce, Travis Scott, Drake, 50 Cent. I saw
while he was fat, or after he lost the belly.
No, he looks great. He
He
looks
lost
very in
it?
shape.
You didn't see him at that Super Bowl?
Oh, that's right. Okay, so he's lost it. He's lost it from then. I even forgot about that.
Okay, because I'm about to say that thing upside down with that gut about to slap him in the face. You ain't see it. You was not watching.
Yeah, I would say like spending time with friends and family. Mm-hmm. Right now, decorating my house. That's been fun. I've been having more time to do that, and actually like spend the time looking for different designs and different items that I would like in my home, and kind of curating that experience. So I've been enjoying decorating as well.
Okay, that's really dope. And you said you be exploring the restaurants of the DMV area, and with your lovely knowledge of the city, could you tell us, like, recommend a couple top hitters for yourself? Restaurants, I mean.
Okay.
And you know what? I'll even make it a little spicier for you. If someone, matter of fact, let's wind it back. Katrina, could you let the people know, are you single, married, without anybody in your life right now?
Okay, that's a spicy question. I knew that question would come up. Single.
Okay, single and ready to mingle, or just single? Because all of these things matter now, because there's so many tweaks and twacks to the dating realm.
I would say single and ready for the right person.
Okay, so my question for you now is, what would be the top 3 places you would want to go to on a first date? And it doesn't have to be particularly a restaurant.
Okay.
What would be top 3 versions of a good first date for you?
I would say something interactive. So, been on some nice dates for sure. Something interactive, something fun, something outside of the normal. So maybe like a game, whether it's an NBA game, an NFL game, some type of activity like a paint and sip would be nice. Something interactive. Horseback riding. Think outside the box.
Horseback riding.
Yeah, I used to horseback ride as a kid.
I mean, no, but who has a ranch? Listen, my father used to own horses.
Find somewhere to go for a horse to ride horses for sure.
It's actually it's not that hard to find horseback riding, but you do have to go out and look for it.
For sure.
There's several places in the DMV area, actually.
But just something like interactive. I feel like we have a lot of activities that we can do other than just going to dinner. Dinner is nice and it's great to talk and get to know a person, but it's nice to like do activities, do something fun.
Okay, so when we get you on the panel, maybe we'll bring back up that list of places you can't go to on the first date. But you didn't name any of them, so we won't bring it up. The reason I did ask you that though, because I mean, I was hoping we would get some restaurants, but because you have the beautiful eclectic taste that you have, could you name something for the people out there in the DMV if they just wanted to find a nice restaurant?
Sure. I'll talk about some nice ones that I've been to recently that I liked. I liked Kitchen and Cocktails in DC. That was nice. I always like Eddie V's. That's like one of my favorites, especially if you're a seafood lover. Eddie V's in Tyson's Corner. That's one of my like always favorites. When you go out to Baltimore, they have a lot of really good restaurants too, especially if you like seafood. I love Poppy Cuisine in Baltimore. That's a good restaurant.
And the crazy thing is, she's talking to me, and I'm allergic to seafood, guys. I couldn't go to any of those places.
Sorry.
It's
what do you like?
I mean, I like food. I just can't eat seafood.
Okay. We'll have to find something else for you.
Okay. Next time on her recommendations, hopefully they come with some steakhouses or barbecue. You know, a good burger place would always do me well.
Okay.
So let's wind it back to your time. This is a good question for you right here. What was it like for you to be on the Washingtonian? You know, we don't get celebrities on our podcast too often, so of course we got to know what it's like.
I was very proud to be in the Washingtonian. I was very proud. It was a great moment. It was a great moment being in the Washingtonian as well as the National Association of Realtors magazine as well, Realtor magazine. Those are great accomplishments. I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of the hard work I did to get there, and it's very exciting.
And if you could voice a couple of your accolades that got you in there, I don't know if you remember them by heart, because I mean I have them, but if you want to fire them off, because I don't know what they mean, so I'll just be saying words. Okay, so as a licensed specialist, buyer and agent, listing agent, relocation and foreclosure specialist, accredited buyer and representative ARB, and then a certified luxury homes marketing specialist.
Yes, I do hold those designations.
Yes, and those are what got her on the Washingtonian, guys. And I again, those are just words to me, so hopefully she could tell us just a smidgen about what those are.
Sure. So I am a designated certified luxury home marketing specialist, which means I'm specialized for listing homes in a luxury price point.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know, a luxury price point is 2 times the average of that area's average price point.
Okay, so if we were to give an example, if you were at a single family home area, and let's say they had a 3-floor, 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath.
Yes.
That would be a luxury?
Depending upon the price point. So for example, if you're in certain areas where the average price point there is $450,000, if you sell twice of that, $900,000, then that would be luxury.
Okay, so you guys, if you want some luxury, she got it in the bag, okay? Yes. Make sure you hit up her Rolodex, and she'll be happy to receive you. We do got some more questions, but I hope that you guys have been liking the episode. I want to get you guys to take a second and just hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed, and hit the notification bell so that way you can be notified of all the amazing things that we are bringing to you guys. Hit that like button because it's the free way to help us grow, and let's get back into it.
Okay, great.
Okay, so for yourself, can you get, this is something that you might not know, but it's something that might help other people who are trying to pursue the same path that you went down.
Okay.
So can you get a real estate license as a felon?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know if there's any particular hurdles that they would have to do extra or not?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm just for clarity. But just so you guys who have gone through anything particular and you might feel like you're down in the world, you have the availability to become a realtor and make yourself the best version of yourself imaginable. Okay. We're getting down to the end of this, so bear with me. I just don't be too antsy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to run out of here, but we're going to get you out of here in a reasonable amount of time.
I'm good. Take your time.
What are some of the values or principles that have stayed consistent and guided you on your journey? So like principles in yourself.
Sure. I would say just staying true to myself, staying true to my own path, continuing to learn. We never know everything, so continuing to learn and continuing to grow and enhance my skill set, and just continuing to remember one of my principles, which is just assisting people throughout this process is really what it's about. Okay.
And I was going to say, you didn't touch on it, but aren't you a personable person?
Yes.
You didn't talk to people beforehand? So that had to upgrade, right?
I did.
It had to increase.
I did. I've done customer service. I've done different jobs where I was always talking to people. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, hopefully it's a little bit more intimate. Well, not too intimate, because y'all, listen, don't be calling her on a late night. My water's running. My water's running. No, no. I'm just saying. I will hope that it's a little bit more personable than
Of course.
just the customer service.
I
And
feel like it builds a great relationship with my clients. So even after my clients have closed, we always keep in touch. They always support me. I always support everything they're doing as well. So you really do build a relationship with your clients in the process. Sometimes you're working with them for 3 months. It could be 6 months. So you spend a lot of time talking to your clients. The clients spend a lot of time talking with their realtor. So, of course.
could you let us know a moment where your roots played a part in helping you to move forward in your path? So where you came from and all that? Okay.
Okay, repeat that one.
Okay. Can you tell me a moment where your roots played a part in progressing your role in your path to being a real estate agent or your success?
Okay. I feel like my roots have played a part in my success. As you know, like I said, I'm from Montgomery County. I've lived in Northern Virginia. I've lived in Prince George's County as well. And just having that familiarity with the area, how I've seen the area change over multiple decades,
Yes.
and just having the knowledge on each area has definitely helped me, especially having clients that may be looking in a broad range of areas.
And even maybe some of those new to the area who
So
never
true.
experienced it. So I definitely think that that's a wealth of knowledge that people can gain from you to definitely discern and choose the best home for themselves. So now we're about to get to ending it off, guys, and I hope that you've loved Katrina's energy. She's been an amazing, amazing guest, and I've been happy to have her. And hopefully this won't be the last time, but that's up to her to let us know.
I'd love to come back.
Okay. So as you could, well, we definitely would love to have you back first and foremost. But as you continue your journey, can you tell us 3 things that you will be doing in the near future that we can look out for?
Sure. So I feel like everything will be a continuation of what I've been doing with real estate already, and also getting back to the basics of many of the things I did when I first started in real estate. But I would say some of the things I'll be doing this year in particular would be more content and more marketing, giving more tips and educational facts about real estate. So that would be one. I'm looking forward to assisting over 30 clients this year. That's all.
Got one more. That was 2.
One more. And what was the question?
Okay, you need 3 things you're going to be doing in the near future. So you wanted to create more content. Actually, I think you wanted to create more content.
So I would say 3 things that I will be doing this year that you could look out for from me would be creating more content and marketing, providing more educational value and tips in that manner. I would like to assist at least 35 clients this year with either buying or selling. And for the third thing, I would just say continuing to grow and continuing to build my skill set.
And all of those things are absolutely amazing. So can you tell the people where they can find you? Instagram, email, any of those kind of things?
Sure. My email address is katrinathomas@compass.com. And my Instagram is katrinathomas_. So you can find me there as well.
Okay. That's lovely. Now, when you come back, we're going to have to see proof of this stuff. So come back with the clips. If you want to, you can bring a family here so they can sing your accolades. I would love to see it. But just before we get up out of here, we want to get some words of advice from you. So if you could share any words of wisdom or advice with the people out there, what would it be?
Okay. Is it words of wisdom and advice about home buying or just in general?
Anything you want to share with them.
Okay. I would say whatever you're doing in life, just stay consistent, stick to the path, be patient, and hard work will pay off.
Okay. And that has been Katrina, guys. I hope you have loved it. This is the lovely lady on the cover of the Washingtonian. So make sure you get up and reach up. Listen, we saying it. She on the cover of the Washingtonian, even though she's saying she's not. Okay. She on there. Okay, so anybody who's going to who's going to reach out to the lovely young lady, make sure you do that in a appropriate manner, and hit up that like button, hit the subscribe button. This has been another episode of The Squeeze. Peace.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can say peace too.
Peace. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.